Have you ever considered, but for some treatments, the secret might actually be using less, not more? Today, we're diving into a pretty surprising claim from a hair loss expert. It's about a well-known medication, finasteride, but used in a topical form at an incredibly low dose. Let's take a closer look. So many people are on the hunt for effective hair loss solutions, right? But what if a really powerful option has been kind of overlooked just because it seems, well, a little counterintuitive? The approach we're digging into today is definitely one of those lesser-known strategies. So what is this counterintuitive option? It's topical finasteride, which you apply right to the scalp, but at a concentration that is shockingly low. According to trichologist William Gonitz, and that's a specialist in all things hair and scalp health, this tiny, tiny dose can pack a serious punch. The concentration we're talking about is just 0.005%. I mean, to put that in perspective, that is a teeny tiny fraction of what you might see in commercial formulas. So the obvious question is, how could a dose this small possibly do anything? That's really the core of what this expert is claiming. And here's the answer to that question, straight up. Despite that incredibly tiny number, the expert's conclusion is that this 0.005% solution can be very powerful. It's this exact contrast, this super low dose with a potentially high impact, that makes this whole approach so interesting and worth looking into. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how would someone even get a concentration that low? The source gives an example of a do-it-yourself formulation that he's seen people use. Now, let me be crystal clear here. This is just an observation he's made. This is absolutely not a set of instructions. The process he describes is actually, well, it's surprisingly simple. It involves crushing up a small amount of a finasteride tablet and just adding it to a standard bottle of Minoxidil, that other common hair growth product. Give it a good shake to mix it all up, and then you just apply it like you normally would. And what's the end result of this DIY method? Well, according to the expert, it creates what he calls a solid solution for using topically. The final concentration can be as low as 0.01%, which, is still tiny, but it's apparently enough to deliver what he describes as a solid result. Okay, so we've looked at the potential here. But now we have to shift gears and talk about something that is critically important. With any treatment, you have to understand the risks. And there is a really serious warning here that you absolutely need to hear. The big issue is something called transference. See, once a topical solution is on your scalp, it doesn't just stay there in a bubble. Everyday contact, like hugging someone, sharing a pillowcase, or even just your partner touching your hair, can actually transfer that medication to them. And here's why that's such a big deal. Finasteride can be absorbed directly through the skin. So if that medication transfers from you to your partner, their body can actually absorb it. It's not just sitting on top of their skin. It can get into their system. And this risk becomes exceptionally serious under very specific circumstances. The expert makes it clear that you need to be extremely careful and conscious of this risk if your partner is of childbearing age, could potentially become pregnant, or is already pregnant. And this is exactly why that warning is so severe. The source states it in the plainest, most direct terms possible. If a pregnant person absorbs finasteride through their skin, it could lead to birth defects. I mean, that warning could not be more clear or more serious. So, we've laid out the potential of this low-dose approach, but also its very, very serious risks. So what's the ultimate takeaway? What's the one thing you absolutely must do, according to the expert? The final advice is simple, direct, and completely non-negotiable. Consult your prescribing physician. Honestly, given the serious risks we just talked about, this is absolutely not an area for any kind of do-it-yourself experimentation. Any decision about this treatment has to be made with a medical professional, period. And that leaves us with a final, really vital thought that goes way beyond just this one topic. It's a question you should probably carry with you into any conversation about your health. Before you start any new treatment, what are the potential risks, especially to the people around you, that you need to discuss first with your doctor? Because being informed is truly your most powerful tool.